One. Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Community Connection. I am Jenna Brooks, your local realtor, and today I am with none other than David Yuzpe. Now, David is a veteran mortgage broker. I like to call him the wizard. Thank you for having me over here, David.
It's absolutely my pleasure.
Okay, so it's exciting because everyone goes online and they work those mortgage calculators and they try to figure out what they can afford. Now, when I call David, I could have a client with me and he can run the numbers quick time and we can know exactly what to get you. So from a mortgage broker's standpoint, David, what are some of the things that you look for so that we know that we can get you the best rates?
You know, it's a bit of a loaded question, but it's a great question. So when we talk about doing a quick pre-approval, what I'm going to be looking for is first basic qualification. So I'll digress to a second because the online calculators are always going to be incorrect. The reason why your online calculators are not correct is we now have this mortgage stress test, which the government has put upon us. So if we put in interest rates as opposed to the stress test rates, we're getting numbers that are actually that are factually incorrect.
Okay.
So when I'm talking to your client, whether I'm with you or with them face to face or over the phone, I'm taking the income information. I'm identifying whether our client is self-employed, hourly, salary, contract, because they're all very different.
Right.
I make sure that we know what those are. I put in the stress test number. Then I'll get into some debts and whatnot, and we will actually come up with a very accurate number, honestly, in 6 to 8 minutes.
Whew.
It's very, very quick.
Okay. And for those that don't know, what is the stress test?
So the stress test was something that was brought in by the current government feeling, well, if interest rates are low, but rates might go up 5 years down the road, let's make sure we qualify based on a higher number to remove any risk of not being able to make the payments down the road. Unfortunately, it's a flawed system. I think it's awful. If we have 20% down, we do have a way around it, but that's the world that we live in today. So as an accurate number, your interest rate today might be between 2.69 and 2.79% for a 5-year fixed. But you actually have to qualify based on 5.34%. Well,
Are you writing these numbers down?
That's a pretty big spread.
Yeah.
I actually did some calculations. In some cases, the difference can be as much as $75,000 in purchase price, less than what we would be able to afford even 2.5, 3 years ago before they brought out this piece of legislation.
Okay. So takeaway here, don't use a mortgage calculator online because you're going to get false information. And I really want to ask for those out there that don't know the difference, for a mortgage broker versus you go to your bank and you ask somebody about a mortgage at your bank, what's the difference between what you offer and what they offer?
The differences are twofold.
Okay.
I mean, if I have to put an analogy to it, I always say going to your bank is like going to your GP for brain surgery.
Okay.
With all due respect to the people that work within the banking community,
Right.
they're responsible for selling as many as 330 different products.
Right.
I sell mortgages.
Just mortgages.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's knowledge base. It's depending on your situation, it's having the ability to do certain deals where one institution will do it and another one will not.
Right.
So for example, there's one of the big 5 banks. If you're self-employed and you don't claim a lot of income but you have large sales, they can't do that deal.
Right.
However, we have 7 or 8 different institutions that can. You're not really paying a rate surcharge to do it. It's just everybody has a different taste for different kinds of deals, Jenna, and that's what's important. That's why when we have this interaction or this conversation, I identify whether you're on contract or if you're self-employed, or if you have regular hourly employment, if there's overtime, no overtime, or if you're salary, because they're all different, and it's about matching not just your needs to the right lender, but matching the ability to get the approval done.
Perfect, yeah. If you are a first-time home buyer, because we have a client that we're working with on this, first-time home buyer wants it for an income property, but we can't buy something that's currently tenanted.
Correct.
Yes, because then we would need 20% down, and then it can't be a primary dwelling, right?
Under the new rules, if you were purchasing a stated investment property, somebody that is tenanted or you plan on having it tenanted, you do require 20% down. Now, if you're buying a legal duplex or a legal non-conforming duplex, which is probably going to be another video,
Yeah.
but a legal non-conforming duplex, meaning It's allowed by the city where you can move in and still have rental income. If it's a duplex, we can still buy that with 5% down.
Okay.
If it's 3 or 4 units, we do need 10% down.
Okay.
So that is, again, federally legislated. But if you have a vacant unit, you can take possession and you can rent out the other unit. We can still get in with 5% down. And we can use a portion of the income from the other unit to help you qualify for that property.
I love it.
Yeah,
So many things to talk about. We're running out of time, but again, so I wanted to thank you, David.
My pleasure, absolutely.
Again, my name is Jenna Brooks, and I'm your local realtor, and this is your Community Connection.